put a shirt on real quick.
Yeah. Because what we want to do is we want to help people get where they need to be. All right. And there's a lot of eyes and ears out here, and they want to hear the conversation, and they want to get to the real issues that are going on out here in the world.
I look a little bit crazy, so
no. Listen, I look just well. Actually, I'm Triple H. I'm a lot more handsome, but I get it. But he said he's going to turn his camera on, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on.
I talked to him before. Some people said I've talked to you before. We've talked before.
Yeah, you're my son.
We talked before.
Yeah, you're my son. You remember me.
Turn your camera on. You know, when people say things that just are completely ridiculous, you just got to ignore them, all right? And right. If you don't mind, tell us exactly where you're located. Oh, there. And he's back.
That's right.
He's back. Lord have mercy. All right.
Lord have mercy.
Okay. Well, this isn't going to take long at all. All right. So here you are right now. Your daddy is in the White House.
He's a president. Jesus is my daddy.
No. He's your daddy. He's in the White House. He's done mass deportations. Could you give me a little information about what's going on? How's the folks in the community, the Hispanic community, how are they reacting to these mass deportations?
We are excited. We are waiting for the summer to throw barbecues in the streets that are now going to be safe. And we are celebrating and high-fiving, not in the darks, but in public.
Why are you celebrating?
There's a lot of the people that have been... What do you mean? What do you mean? I voted for mass deportation, so they're being deported. What do you mean?
But you're voting.
What kind of question is that?
You're voting to harm your own community, and
my own community. My community is going to be very safe.
Actually, it's double. Because you present black, so you're voting to actually have the police come in there and terrorize you. And I don't know
through stop and frisk already.
No.
I grew up in New York, buddy. It went very
so it's
well.
Okay. So look at that. This guy.
I was a safe teenager in New York.
Got it. I mean, I got to give it to you. You really fall in line like I've never seen before. You're actually, in my opinion, you're kind of dangerous.
Oh.
You're dangerous because you could actually be used to do a lot of harm. All right.
Also,
because you are willfully falling in line with practices and things like that you know are harmful to your community. So you're celebrating the deportations. And to me, that's alarming because I wanted you to also explain to me how that's connected to the cost of the goods that Trump is supposed to bring down.
That's not. We're gonna drill, baby, drill.
No. Could you at least, because you're an educated guy, right? You and I spoke before. How?
No, bro. I didn't graduate that middle school.
Oh God. Okay, you didn't have to say that. All right. How is the cost of the groceries going to be impacted by the mass deportations that you're celebrating? All right.
Nobody said that. That's for safer streets, not cheaper groceries. Drill, baby, drill is for cheaper groceries.
But do you think it's going to have any financial impact?
No.
Do you think that there could be any impact to our labor market in any way as a result of these mass deportations?
No, not at all.
That's interesting. Well, I mean, what if I were to say that it actually is going to have an impact?
I bet you it's not. I bet you're going to lie.
Just think about it. Use your imagination real quick.
I don't got to think about it. I go through the numbers every day on TikTok. I have 15 debates a day, buddy. I know it's not.
So you don't think mass deportation?
I know it's not.
What about the labor shortages? There's a lot of companies that had a lot of these people who were working for them. They're saying, you know what? They're not showing up to work. And so this is why I brought you up here. I mean, I didn't know who you were, but I don't want to have a superficial conversation. I want to have the real conversation. You're running a business and your employees stop showing up to work. What happens?
Hire new people.
But the people you need to hire, they're not going to be applying for the position.
I hope that business fails if he's codependent on cheap labor.
All right, Donald Trump. Donald Trump, because what Donald Trump has done to this brother right here is diabolical. So you want
wow.
You want businesses that feed Americans to fail. That's wild. That's
If
crazy.
also, I want to add to that. If there's a nation that's codependent on another nation, meaning they order their stuff and they're scared of the quote unquote tariffs, I hope you fell too. That includes Walmart. I hope Walmart turns into Blockbuster.
That's crazy. So where in this world that you're creating, let me ask you, how do you get your food and stuff?
From what? You think Walmart is the only place people get their food?
No, but I'm just asking, in the world you're creating, we get
Because I'm
rid
not
of
saying Walmart representative of companies. I'm talking about Walmart specifically. So
Okay.
there are many supermarkets, mom and pops. I buy stuff from the Asian grocer in the corner.
So you go to the Asian grocery store to get your strawberries and your tomatoes.
Why did you ask that question with a cynical tone?
I'm trying to actually follow the logic here because at a certain point we got to get to the place where the rubber meets the road, bro. Who's getting the agricultural produce? Who's doing the construction work? All right. That's where I'm trying to get at. And you keep saying things like, well, I'm going to go to the mom and pop store, but these bigger businesses, they can go straight to hell. So now I'm in your world. This is your world, bro. Just keep painting the picture so we all can get a clear understanding how we're going to get to a place where my egg prices are going to go down to 99 cents and groceries will
99 cents. I don't know about that.
So this is where I feel like you're all theory, but we can't get any concrete answer. Yeah.
No. The expectation of, do you know there's a difference between drilling and producing oil? When you
do.
drill new holes, when you drill new holes, producing is pumping already drilled wells. And drilling is drilling new holes. The expectation of an addition to the world oil supply actually affects the market. So once we see drilling start, you're going to see oil go down, and energy is a cost that we share throughout every sector and every industry. You will see the free market rectify itself with oil, with the oil supply coming in.
But explain how that ties into what about Russia and, because they actually put oil on the market, right?
That's OPEC plus. And that's not OPEC. That's OPEC plus.
But you got the folks in the Middle East. You got Venezuela. There's all these other countries.
That's the 13 nations of OPEC.
Okay,
right.
There's more than one country producing oil. Again, you're the expert at all of this. So how long is it going to take for drill baby drill to kick in and my egg prices to get down?
I actually got I got to get the specific date of when they're going to start drilling.
Oh, they haven't started?
But when they start drilling, probably 3 to 6 months, you see oil prices go down. You see energy come down as a cost, and then maybe 3 months after that, competition is going to kick in. So with competition kicking in the free market, we should see prices reflect that, and inflation just take an absolute dip. Drastically too. I'm not even saying amicably. Drastically, Zeus. We saved your life, Zeus. We saved your life.
Thank you. Hey, now I have my friend here, Val. He's a lot more knowledgeable.
Why do you always call for help, dog? Ain't you the thought leader? You did this last time.
No, but this is serious. Val.
So when it gets serious, you can't handle it when it gets serious, huh? That's what you're saying?
Can we just have the conversation? Val
I was trying to have it with you.
We are. And I'm not going anywhere. You're safe, bro. Trust me. You're safe. Val, how are you?
Doing good.
All right. You're back. I'm talking to my good friend. I'm talking to my good friend Breda. All right. And he's an expert when it comes to tariffs, right? And the economy.
Well, he's not much of an expert.
So you do remember me, huh?
Oil.
Yeah.
I didn't bring up tariffs.
Right. But now I feel like it's an even conversation because one of the things you got to learn in life is sometimes you say, you know what, it's okay to actually get a more diverse and more rich conversation about a topic. So now I'm bringing in someone that I think might be able to shine a little light on these tariffs. Val.
Yeah.
All right. So now this gentleman here, I believe he believes tariffs are actually a good thing for this country. Am I right, sir?
I would add, if Trump were to turn on the tariffs, I would turn on Trump. That's how deep it is for me.
If he were to what?
If Trump were to turn on the tariffs, I would turn on Trump. That's
meaning if he doesn't implement the tariffs.
If he doesn't implement on the tariffs and he backtracks, I'm aiming at him.
Well, don't say that. All right, just say you're not going to support him.
I'm not going to support him. Meaning, I'm not going to aim at the president. Come on.
Yeah. So Val, what are your thoughts about that? Because he seems to believe these tariffs are actually a great thing for him, and this brother is living on a fixed income currently.
Fair enough.
You acting like I'm on SSI.
I mean, but we know it ain't coming in like that. You know what I mean? Because
I ain't getting Zeus money. I tell you that. I ain't getting
Okay.
Zeus money. You know what I mean?
Okay,
I'm an
so-
average man that loves his country. What's up?
There you go. So, Val, if you don't mind, could you at least shed some light on in terms of how these tariffs may potentially impact him? Because I tried to, say it in a way he could get it, but he's a lot more knowledgeable than I thought.
Well, first off, sir, who pays the tariff?
The importer.
The importer. Okay. Now, what is the importer going to do when they get
The importer is going
tariff?
to the importer has already negotiated these tariffs with the exporter during the international commercial
No,
terms.
not how that works, sir. The exporter. Let's say AKA Mexico, puts vegetables on our table. Those vegetables come from that exporter at a certain price already. If they get hit with an additional 25%, there's going to be no deal. They're going to cut. They're going to tell the importer, that's on you. My price is my price. That is what they're going to do. So therefore, it is going to go up. There is no logic base that says the prices on anything imported with a tariff is going to go down because the importer pays that tariff. The exporter doesn't.
Do you know what Incoterms are?
Say that again.
Do you know what Incoterms are?
Incoterms. Explain.
No.
Incoterms. Sir, there's going to be no deal. Mexico's already said.
What are Incoterms, sir? Please.
No. You tell me. What are Incoterms?
I can go look it up. Hold on. Don't worry. We don't like people dropping new lingo up here.
But why? It's not new lingo, Zeus. I already put you on.
No,
Okay.
come on.
But last time you did this,
you
you tweaked the definition, and then my good friend Nutty came up here and he pointed out you just slightly traded. You just said this one thing differently that was different. Go ahead and quote it to me, young man, Breda. Oh, actually, not young man. You're older than me, but you act like you're younger than me, so that's what it is. All right, yeah. Go ahead and tell us what Incoterms are.
Incoterms are the terms by which each nation agrees to ship the vessel they're going to use, where it's going to land, what port it's going to land in, who's going to insure it, to what point is going to be insured, in which case the next nation is going to pick up the insurance. We're not going to get into Trump.
Can I just read my definition? Can I just read my definition? Can I read my definition? Because I got a different definition, if you don't mind.
There's 11 categories. We're not going to get into Trump working in the
Sir,
bottom
what you
half
just described.
Yeah, go ahead. Read the formal definition, Zeus. Go ahead.
There's not anything called Incoterms. That's called logistics.
Okay, so Zeus, go ahead.
I'll read it. It says Incoterms are international commercial terms. Are a set of
that there are Incoterms, yes or no? And
that's an actual word. All right, a set of rules that defines the responsibilities and liabilities of buyers and sellers in international trade. I mean, what you said, I guess, sounded like that. I don't know.
Okay. I went into the specifics of it, and that was a general definition of what it entails. So during these terms, the importer would tell the exporter, this is what's happening, accommodate for the tariff, or business will cease to exist between us. This is why Colombia got straight in their place when they heard 25% tariff. That's why British Columbia is crying that it's going to incur a $69 billion hole for them. And they are losing 124,000 jobs in response to America's tariff attack, because ultimately this gets passed back to the exporter during the international commercial terms, which is what Incoterms is. International commercial terms.
Well, that was a lot of word salad that went nowhere.
Oh, really?
Okay,
Word salad.
So, sir, this is here. We're going to address these one at a time. It's plain and simple. Okay, the exporter's not going to change their price on their shirt. Okay, they're not going to change their price. Their price, if it cost $8 for that shirt, and they get hit with a 25% tariff. What is 25% of $8?
Why would
what is 25%?
Why would our American president?
What is 25% of $8?
$2, man.
Okay, so now that shirt costs the importer $10. Shirts sell at a low profit margin. So if that profit margin was $2 before, the importer sold it for $10.
That part.
Now the importer is going to sell that shirt because he still wants to make his $2 for 12. That's how it works, sir. There is no trick or no weird math or no strange things that happen.
You think
beyond
economics
the
is that
scenes.
simple, huh?
It is that simple.
It really is not. And
People that try to
ultimately,
confuse this with word
listen,
salad, like what you
I'm not
just
trying to
did.
confuse this.
Yes,
W,
you are.
Val.
You're
trying to confuse this. You're
go
trying to
around and
confuse this. You're
what
trying
the
to confuse
situation
this.
is. There
I
is
already
no,
told
there
you.
is
Listen,
no
I let
trick.
you talk.
Sir,
Zeus,
hold on. There is
I let him
no
talk.
Well,
trick
he was still
in
talking.
math.
He's still
All
talking.
right.
Let's
No problem.
Yeah,
But
there
it's kind of,
is
he's
no
repeating the
tricks
same
in
one.
math.
He's using like 10 sentences to repeat to describe one idea, but okay, let him talk. Go ahead.
And then I'll let you know where I'm at again, because you both are doing your thing, and I'm just putting
He's
together.
not doing anything. I hear his argument 10 times a day. I do this all day on TikTok.
But all we're trying to
You
do
that argument
but-
10 times a day because it is
This is a low
math.
IQ argument to say that it is not negotiated with the exporter. It's a very low IQ to think that it is just
Very
imposed.
low
Why would,
IQ.
Yeah, why would every single person in business deliberately alienate their consumer base, knowing that they got to compete with a domestic market?
No,
it's
sir.
absolutely low
Not
IQ.
how that works. Businesses
You're
work
probably
on
overweight.
profit.
I'm not even going to do that to you, bro.
Businesses work on profit, sir, plain and simple. If they do not produce profit, they cannot keep their doors open.
That makes
There
sense.
is no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, that's
about
why
it.
they're going to negotiate it during the international commercial terms with the exporter.
No, sir. It's not going to
Especially
work that way.
especially
these
those
word
of
salads
China,
that
for
you're trying
sure.
to put forward, these things that you think are making you sound smart, are actually making you
International,
dumb.
you sounded dumb. You tried to refer to international commercial terms as logistics, and your own host
No,
smacked
what you
you on that.
described
Well,
was logistics.
The host smacked you on that.
No,
like,
no,
you're
no,
wrong.
no, no,
You
no,
tried to
no.
minimize international
Wait a
commercial
second.
terms
Wait
in
a
front of
second.
3,000 people.
Wait a second. Now, hold on. Let me interject. When he said it sounds like logistics, he's right. And what you
It
were
is
saying,
logistics, but it's
but
a
what you
technical
were
term for
saying,
it because it's distinct from logistics.
But what I read was a broader definition of what you were talking about. It was a lot broader in terms of the way that I read it.
Literally acknowledge that.
So it's not like he's wrong. But what I'm struggling with here is I just can't understand, because Val made it clear to me that, okay, you do the tariffs, the business is going to end up fronting the cost, but then they're going to pass it on to the consumer, which is, people like me, people like you. You agree with that premise, right?
Absolutely incorrect.
That's where I get a little fuzzy, because then you threw out Incoterms, and I'm starting to think, well, why hasn't Trump brought up Ecoterms?
He doesn't need to discuss the nuances of what's going to happen. He needs to impose it for the well-being of America. And mind you, the majority of the things aren't going to get tariffed at the top of the percentage that was imposed on the next.
You're up here spreading misinformation, sir. Hold
Is
on.
he going to
You're up here
interrupt
spreading
me? And I was
misinformation.
being. But why
And
you calling
think there's
misinformation
no
before
history?
All right,
you
go
see,
ahead.
your problem, sir, is you think there's no history to back up.
You're going to go back to the small.
You would be absolutely wrong, sir.
What
did the 25% tariff do on lumber from Canada when he was in office the first time? What happened there?
Go ahead, speak on it. Because we don't need lumber from
Sir,
Canada. We don't need anything from Canada.
Acts like you know
buy
about
very
this.
little
What
from. We buy very little from Canada. So whatever.
We get a lot of lumber from Canada, sir.
It doesn't matter.
Again, sir, what happened to the cost of lumber?
Stop repeating the question.
Sir, what happened with the
question.
cost of lumber when we put a 25% tariff on Canada?
Let me tell you.
On his first term, what happened?
You said the question.
What happened?
W and in the chat. Let's go. To the people out there that Nine Breda is up here, y'all better show him some love, because he's really struggling up here to explain.
I'm not
his
struggling
position.
at all. He's over talking me, repeating the same question.
No,
Okay.
I'm trying to be mature in this conversation.
Because you have not answered it.
Okay, how about this? We'll do it both ways. First question, though, and then you answer back with his question, and then you say what you were going to say so I can follow what you're saying, all right? What happened to the lumber in Canada when the tariffs were placed on it? Do we know? Because I don't know
exactly, but if he's bringing it up, I'm assuming that the price went up. But I already told you, any company that's dependent on international commerce, I hope you turn into Blockbuster.
Okay, stop
Plain
right
and
there.
simple.
Stop right there. So let me ask Val. Val, could you explain to me what, and all of us, because there's a lot of folks in here, what happened to that lumber? And then we're coming back to you, Breda, in terms of what that point was, because we could get into both sides of this.
Yeah, when you get into the materials in this country, when we put a 25% tariff on Canadian and China lumber and steel, it actually increased to the consumer the price of lumber by over 50%.
Okay. So, and that 50% increase, you're saying Americans paid for that.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you, Val. All right. Now, Breda, what was you trying to get to? Because all I can tell you from where I'm at right now is I'm connecting dots, and I'm so far understanding this is hurting me as an American when these tariffs happen. Now, you're saying it doesn't.
Yeah, absolutely not. It doesn't.
Let's go.
Absolutely. And
Let's
the
go.
things that are tariffed that affect our market, right, that affect us are things that we regulate to keep a standard of humanity. It's not that we don't have it accessible in this nation. It's just that we don't access it to protect our land. We're not codependent on Canada for lumber because they have it. They just don't care like we care. Second of all, we can get it from anywhere. The fact that we kept trading with them was as a favor to them because at the end of the day, the trade imbalance shows that we don't depend on them for much. We buy very little from them.
You're saying we don't depend on Canada for much?
No, we don't. With the trade imbalance shows that we don't need them for absolutely anything. The majority of the stuff
Canada, if we were to cut Canada completely off, so
why is he
interrupting Canada? So if we were to cut Canada completely off, what happens to the job market?
Wait, hold on. Hey, Val, hold on. Because I think you and I know that's not true, but I want him because, and I'm looking it up too, and we're gonna, and then I want you to, when Val responds, sir, where'd you go?
No, I'm here, man. I'm here.
Okay, when he responds, all right, then we got to have a moment of truth. All right, so please continue. I heard you say we don't get a lot of products from Canada. Is that what you said? We don't get a lot. How do you say that?
I said our trade imbalances shows that we're not codependent on Canada, and everything that they give us, we get from them because they are our neighbors, not because their resources exclusive to them.
Okay,
here's a quick question for you with this codependency: how many jobs does Canada represent in the U.S.?
Yo, stop asking these leading questions and just land.
No, it's not a leading question. That's an actual question.
Just say the information.
Does Canada represent in the U.S.? See, you're coming up here talking about this stuff like you know something and you know nothing.
Yeah, I know more than you. I know that for sure.
You do not.
We can't get into all of the who's this. I'm trying to get to the real deal. Now,
asking these stupid questions.
No. Those are not stupid questions. Even the genius asks questions. You know that. Stop it. Come on now. Come on. Val, please continue with how many jobs come from Canada. All right.
80 million jobs in the U.S. are because of Canadian companies in trade.
W Val in the chat. And we get crude oil, petroleum, and refined petroleum. We get cars, we get trucks, we get food, cereal, flour, starch, animal and vegetable fats, oil, mushrooms and potatoes, paper, iron and steel, beverages and spirits and vinegar, salt, sulfur.
Nothing. So, that's nothing. The crude oil we get from them the crude oil we get from them is a favor to them because of their green efforts, they've cut their nose to spite their face. Now they're dependent on our refineries for their sweet oil. They barely produce. They barely produce low API, high sulfuric.
Sir, you came up
they
here.
Only
you talked about
low API,
oil.
High sulfuric crude oil, bitumen.
Yeah.
They're dependent on our refineries. We don't need Canada.
Sir, what is ExxonMobil? Chevron?
Stop asking these stupid questions.
What does ExxonMobil and Chevron
say about? Can you not say these are stupid questions, sir? Come on now.
Exxon is a laundromat.
What does ExxonMobil say about?
It's a laundromat.
And Chevron say about?
It's a Chinese restaurant.
What did they say? What did they say 2 weeks ago?
What did they say?
They said 2 weeks ago they're drilling at full capacity. They can't drill anymore.
Why are you shifting? You're shifting from tariffs.
We talk about oil from Canada.
We tried to list what we need from Canada and we realized we don't need them. Well, I just told you we don't need their oil. They need us to buy their oil.
But sir,
excuse me, they need us to buy their oil. We don't need their oil. We don't need their crude oil.
Sir, can I get back to a little something? Now, you said something, and I got to call a foul. I listed all the stuff we get from Canada, and you said it's nothing. You want to take... But, okay, on a number line, all right, 0.
Mexico actually exports more cars to us than Canada.
Wait. On a number line, all right? Nothing, I'm going to imagine, that's kind of near 0. You can't say we get nothing from Canada, bro. I mean, that's ridiculous.
bro.
When are
the
you
stuff
going?
we
When
get
are you?
from
When are you
Canada-
going? I mean, we can't have a real conversation when you're just basically somebody comes into your house, drops a bag on you, and you go, "Oh, that's nothing." What? You know what I'm saying when I say it like that, right? You can't do that.
But
This
you're
is
doing it
real.
while minimizing what we give them. That's the problem.
I
You
didn't
try to
say.
make
Wait.
it seem. You try
I
to
didn't.
make it seem as if they stop giving to us that we're going to in some way suffer, and we're absolutely not, because they are more codependent on us, military wise, economically wise, oil wise, than we are on them. 100,000%. That's why Trudeau is panicking. Stop it.
I mean, when
What?
you get with. And Val, you're doing an outstanding job, Val. You're doing it.
Hold on a
Tariff is
minute.
gonna
Did he just
debilitate
say
them,
that?
we know it.
Did you just say that Canada is dependent upon us for military?
They have a small, underfunded military.
We have a small military. Sir, what's the population of Canada?
It doesn't matter. They have a weaker military than people with smaller populations.
Their
than them because
percentage
they
of
underfund
military,
them.
their percentage of military based on population is
It
almost.
doesn't. Don't
strong
compare
as
them to
ours.
us. Don't compare them to us. We're the greatest country in the world.
I think I'm seeing
Compare them to something else.
Sir.
See,
And I
another
bet you they'll
math
show that
problem
they have an underfunded military.
So, sir, I'm seeing something. It's a pattern, and I pick up on patterns, better than a lot of people. Actually,
Oh, you're a pattern picker upper?
well, you can say that in a way, right?
right,
You
the
can go
pattern
actually
picker upper, y'all.
Yeah. So, what's going on here is when we start having honest conversations with you, and we need concrete evidence, you get real philosophical, and you're great at it. But being philosophical, being philosophical, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't help my bottom line, bro. And this is where
What
I'm
was
kind of
philosophical about what I said?
okay.
And
We
I
can
like
talk
to address something.
I'll
Can I
give you
address something.
Yes. Go ahead, Val.
Yeah,
No,
I
no,
wanna
no,
address
please,
something
let 'em
because
finish.
what
Oh, hold on. I
Don't
passed the ballot. I passed the ballot. We call that
Yeah,
the
so
give and
I wanna-
wait. We call it the
What
give
was
and go.
philosophical about what I
Yeah,
said?
I
I'm doing the
address
give and go. Let me do the give and go. I'll be back. All right, go ahead,
That's
Val.
crazy. I know I'm
Here
getting
we
love
go.
in
I
here.
want to
Nobody
address
put
this
me-
right
I
from
had to mute him.
because you know when I came up here, you asked me, am I back? And the very first thing, the reason I asked to come up is because the top of his screen, which you can't see anymore, which says Dominicans for Trump. Okay, sir. So one of the places I just got back from was the DR.
Oh,
Okay, and I can promise you, the DR wants no fucking piece of Trump.
oh my
I
God!
promise you.
Now you got to keep it
Conservative
clean.
in my land. They're all conservative over there. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, AB is not allowed over there. All of the stuff is
Is
not
that why
allowed
they
over
were
there. You're
protesting
crazy.
Trump when I was there?
Yeah, you're a liar.
Am
You're
I?
one of those. You're a liar. You're a white.
Because
liberal
everybody
liar.
knows where I
Hey.
just was.
Now, why you do the race bait and stuff, man? You guys sit around here, you
Sorry.
say Zeus is the biggest race baiter, but every
I never said
opportunity, the people you roll with, they say that, but every time we get to these serious issues, that comes up. Here we are right now, and listen,
But
this
he's
conversation,
lying, though, Zeus.
this conversation has gone quite a bit longer than I expected, and you both, you kept it as fair as you possibly could, and I learned a lot. But what I'm not getting out of this is when I said the philosophical business, nothing that you're saying, sir, is translating into prices of goods going down, and that's the issue here.
I literally said that drilling is, and I showed you how drilling. The expectation of drilling is it has an expectation. Let's an expectation of
Yeah, but
supply
that's
in the
why I
market.
said it
They're the
sounds
oil companies
philosophical.
coming free.
It
But
sounds
that is
philosophical.
economics. Oh my God, bro.
It sounds philosophical, and
It's
then
not
and
the
then
idea of more supply coming in. Actually,
that's the part.
affects-
The idea. You hear what you're saying? The
But
idea.
that's how the oil market works.
No, there's actually a place where numbers are crunched, and we get actual
when you
profits.
drill the hole, no. When you drill a hole, you have an expectation. When you pump that hole, you still have this hole with this supply that you're expected to run out. The minute you drill a new hole, you have expectation of a new oil supply. So that new oil supply is factored into the price, bringing the cost down, bro. This is all you.
And
This
again-
is not me philosophizing.
Okay. All right.
Oh my God.
yeah,
That was funny.
Yeah, that
Sir,
to
what
me,
happened-
I can't pin
Yo,
you
when
down
y'all
on
Google
anything.
it, y'all gonna see that I'm right.
I
What
can't
happened
pin.
in 2018
Yeah,
when
when I
he
Google it,
worked
y'all
this
gonna see
same
I'm right.
deal? When he worked this same deal with OPEC, what happened?
What are you talking about? OPEC
When-
is
when
an
he worked
organized
to- when he
petroleum
worked to deal
exporting
with
country.
with
It's
OPEC to
13 sovereign
increase-
nations.
to
How can you
increase-
make one deal with
when
13
he
sovereign
worked
nations?
to
There was no
deal with
OPEC deal.
Can we-
OPEC to increase
Screaming at
production
Saudi
in
Arabia on Twitter is
2018.
not an OPEC deal.
What happened in the U.S.?
All right, this is the
Screaming
last.
at Saudi Arabia on
This
Twitter
is the last
not an
question.
OPEC
This is
deal.
the last question, and then Zeus actually has to move it on. But if you don't mind, sir, he's asking you about OPEC, and you did it. You survived a lot longer than I thought. All right, but maybe this could get you
'Cause
out
I'm
of the
smarter
jam.
than y'all.
Maybe this could get you out of the jam you're in. He asked a question. Val, could you please repeat the question for
What happened in the U.S. when he cut this deal in 2018 with OPEC?
If you answer this question, bro, you know what? My level of respect might just go up. Go ahead and answer it, please.
No, because there was no formal OPEC deal. Screaming at Saudi Arabia on Twitter is not a formal bureaucratic deal. You'll never find a signature.
This
You
was in
can't have a deal with-
2018. This was a deal he cut with
the
OPEC
deal
while he was president.
How can you cut a deal with OPEC? It's
You don't
He
know.
asked
you know what OPEC is?
to increase production.
What is OPEC, bro?
They did.
What is OPEC, bro?
happened?
Do you know?
What is OPEC? Do you know what OPEC is?
Sir, I know what OPEC is. I know what OPEC Plus is. I asked
What
a
does
very
OPEC stand
specific
for?
question. What happened
What
when
deal?
he
There's no-
worked a deal with
there's
OPEC
no deal.
to increase
So you
production
don't
in 2018?
All you have to do is say, I don't know. And we can move on, bro. So he doesn't know. And you know what, Val? Do you want to go ahead and educate him real quick?
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
go ahead.
2018, when
Go ahead and lie
2018,
to the
when he
people.
cut the deal, when he cut a deal with OPEC to increase production, it dropped the price per barrel. When the price per barrel drops, U.S. oil companies no longer can afford to produce oil on our home soil because it becomes non-profitable. You know, the same thing we talked about with tariffs. When things become non-profitable, it put 40 U.S. oil companies out of business.
Okay, so okay.
Shut down.
So what
it
does that
shut
have to
down
do?
7
God.
Wow.
refineries.
Wow.
Excuse me. What does that have to do with America producing more oil? If you're speaking to my point that producing more oil,
American oil companies will
Drilling-
not drill and
drilling more
produce more
oil
oil if the
lowers
price
the
per barrel drops
Listen,
below a certain
lower-
amount.
listen, if
Do you-
producing and drilling more oil lowers the price because the supply is more, how is drill baby drill not going to be having an effect on
Because
the
if
economy?
it's not profitable, if the price
are
per
you an idiot?
barrel, if
Oh,
the
there you
price
go
per
again.
barrel
There
drops,
you go. There you go.
it becomes
So-
non-profitable.
Make your last point, Breda, because you've lost. But I'll let you go ahead and make your last point. So you believe that all the
lost.
stuff? Yeah. You believe everything you
lost.
said. You still believe everything you've been saying? You don't believe you were wrong about a thing?
Not only that, listen, the tariffs are going to bring in a bunch of revenue. We're going to abolish the IRS.
But the revenue
We're
comes
gonna
from
keep
us.
We're going to abolish the IRS. Right? The revenue is not going to come from us.
We
revenue's
pay
gonna
the
come from
tariffs. We've
another-
established that. We pay the
tariff
tariffs.
is paid. No, we didn't establish that. You established that in your delusional mind. The tariffs are going to be paid by the exporter, Zeus, the hip hop artist.
Hey, China, pay the tariffs, please.
Yeah,
Hey,
they know.
China, pay the tariffs.
And that's
Hey,
why
Mexico,
Colombia
pay the
backed down
tariffs.
when they heard 25%
Hey, Canada, pay
tariff.
the tariffs. You know
That's
what
why
Canada,
that's why
Mexico, and
Canada's
China are
panicking.
going to say? F you is what they're going to say.
Okay, I hope they do. Let's see what happens.
Okay, and on that
see
note,
who's
I
gonna
gotta
lose.
move it on. So what I'm going to do,
right.
ladies and gentlemen, this guest, Breda, he came to the show once again to get cooked. I don't know what his obsession is, but apparently he loves. Yeah, absolutely. All right, he loves getting in the box and getting cooked with nothing but the truth. So help me God.